I believe in space rather than time. I believe in people rather than capital. People in spaces make places. However, these spaces are not neutral and come inscribed with power. A power that still, despite 13 years of democracy in South Africa, affects not only the way that people are perceived and treated, but the way that people feel. It is my aim to expose and deconstruct the myths that perpetuate fear of difference through the celebration of life that exists in the marginalized and often unrecognized spaces of in between.
Durban, situated on the east coast of South Africa, is a rapidly growing city responding to the challenges of a post-apartheid South Africa. It is within this dynamic urban context that Dom Jahangir's City Walk initiative exists. The City Walk began in 2001 as a curious exploration into the informal infrastructures that evolve naturally in response to the needs of the majority. These footpaths run some 2 kilometers from the informal settlements in Cato Manor to the city centre. This walk saves the pedestrian R2, some 25 American cents in taxi fare. Post-apartheid South Africa no longer has legislated division along race lines, but the class divides perpetuated by intense consumer capitalism makes the country as separated and disconnected as ever. The rich don't walk. They are afraid to. The City Walk has evolved into an investigative journey, an exuberant exploration, as well as a humbling and cautionary tale. An allegory on the infinite complexities of spaces and timings in the city of Durban, KwaZulu-Natal. It is experimental, oral, visual, and informal in nature. Everything comes together here. Subjectivity and objectivity, the abstract and the concrete, the repetitive and the differential, structure and agency, mind and body, consciousness and unconsciousness, the disciplined and the transdisciplinary, everyday life and unending history.
So, how do we identify and position new urban developments and infrastructures in the contemporary landscape of South Africa, a society marked by cultural, social, and indeed economic schisms? When answering this question, it is crucial to recognize that art, architecture, and indeed all cultural expression can function as a medium through which our society is able to articulate and conscientize its citizens around social issues as well as build skill and self-development. Therefore, it is within the context of the City Walk initiative that the pink lane emerges. The pink powder is a traditional medicine or muti called nzinzi, which is ingested for cleansing purposes by the Zulu people. It is used here to draw attention to other marginalized natural energies of natural communities in the practice of their freedom. top down versus bottom up, voyeurs versus walkers, to analyze any aspect of daily urban life against the theories and ideals of urban planners and managers, where they generally become voyeurs looking down on the city as if from a high-rise building. One should rather walk in it. The French philosopher Michel de Certeau puts it very nicely.
Walking the city turns out to have its own logic. The walker individuates and makes ambiguous the legible order given to the cities by planners, a little like the way waking life is displaced and ambiguated by dreaming. The ordinary practitioners of the city live down below the thresholds at which visibility begins. They walk an elementary form of experiencing the city in movement. They are walkers, whose bodies follow the thick and thin of an urban text they write without being able to read. These practitioners make use of the spaces that cannot be seen. Their knowledge of them is as blind as lovers in each other's arms. The paths that correspond in this intertwining, in recognized poems in which each body is an element signed by many others, elude legibility. It is as though the practices organizing the bustling city were characterized by blindness. The networks of these moving, intersecting writings compose a manifold story that has neither author nor spectator, shaped out of fragments of trajectories and alterations of spaces. In relation to representations, it remains daily and indefinitely other.